The term, Bootstrap Paradox, was first coined by science fiction writer Robert A. Heinlein in his 1941 short story, By His Bootstraps. The paradox has since become a popular concept in science fiction and has been used in many works of literature, film, and television. However, the idea of a time loop where an object or information has no clear origin can be traced back to earlier works of science fiction, such as H. G. Wells' novel, The Time Machine, published in 1895. While the concept of the bootstrap paradox is often used in science fiction, it is also a topic of interest to physicists and philosophers who study the nature of time and causality. The paradox raises questions about the possibility of time travel and the consistency of the timeline, and it continues to be a subject of debate and discussion in both popular culture and scientific circles. The bootstrap paradox is another hypothetical scenario that often arises in discussions about time travel. It involves a situation where an object or information appears to have no clear origin because it seems to have been created out of nothing, but is actually a result of a time loop. In other words, the object or information is brought back in time from the future, and then becomes the source of its own creation in the past. This creates a circular loop where the object or information has no clear beginning or end. Here is an example to illustrate the paradox. Suppose that someone named Alice travels back in time to the year 1960, and gives a copy of a book to her favorite author, John. The book is a masterpiece that was written by John himself, but it has not yet been published in 1960. John is amazed by the book and decides to publish it under his own name, but he does not remember writing it himself. In fact, he only wrote it in the future after he was inspired by the copy of the book that Alice gave him in 1960. The paradox arises because the book has no clear origin or author. It was brought back in time by Alice, but it was actually written by John in the future. The book is both its own source and its own effect, and it creates a circular loop where its existence is dependent on events that have not yet occurred. The bootstrap paradox raises questions about causality and the nature of time, and it is often used as a thought experiment to explore the implications of time travel.